sometimes we say the hawkers like black face.
Yeah.
It's not bad face. They're cooking the noodle. Then you want that. Don't sell lah. Correct or not? They cannot be every time cook the noodle. The char kway teow.
How many plates of food does a hawker need to sell in a day to break even? This is your daily Ketchup. Today's episode is brought to you by the National Environment Agency. Long hours, unstable income, backbreaking work. Is being a hawker really as hard as it sounds? Who want to be one in 2023? Well, today we have second-generation hawker Melvin Chew to tell us all about this very important yet underappreciated job. Melvin, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Melvin.
Okay, so I'm Melvin. So I'm the second-generation hawker. So I selling braised duck and Chap. Uncle food lah.
I love like duck and Ketchup.
Okay, I'll tell you where to buy, okay? Let me give you guys-
Second gen means you learn from your family, like passed down or what?
So the store founded by my parents. So in the previous day, my parents are all street vendors.
Oh,
So in 1983, NA and government, they built a hawker center. So all the hawker street vendors, they start to move out to hawker center. Initially, my parents, they are not selling braised duck. They are selling fruits.
Oh, okay.
So when they moved to the hawker center in the small place, then happened that my father got a lot of friends selling fruits. So he said like, don't want to langgar the business. Don't langgar.
The gap in the market. Like, the one selling duck. Okay, let's do it.
So my father want to act steady. He was thinking what to sell. Then it's good and lucky. My father got an uncle friend who started to teach him how to braise duck. This is how we started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for some context, Melvin is the owner of Cinci Braised Duck and Chap in Chinatown Complex. And he runs it alongside his mother and siblings.
Amazing.
Yeah. And he also worked with NEA to develop several support programs for hawkers, but we'll talk about that a bit later.
How old were you when you started to learn how to cook?
17, 18 years old, around there. Now to cook. But that time my parents don't like us to cook.
Oh, why?
A lot of hawkers don't like their children to be hawkers.
Right.
Because very tough because they've been through this.
So that means you were the one that wanted to learn
I wanted because I grew up
in the environment.
Then I Betache one. So I think Betache, last time a lot of people say Betache, you need to go and sell char kway teow already. Okay Betache, never mind, go and sell braised duck.
But then you like it like you like the cooking like the whole time you growing up you like interested to learn.
Yeah, got a passion.
So some background information, right, is that Melvin, actually you took over the stall in 2014.
Yes, correct.
So actually before that, did you plan to take over the stall to be a hawker?
Planning to but as I mentioned here, my parents they don't want It's only when my dad passed away quite suddenly because of stroke. My mom is aging, then if nobody helps her, then she have to close the store for good. So I tell her, I took over, I help her.
Also, you were doing something else before that?
Yeah.
Oh, what were you doing?
I was in the car garage. So doing those accident claim all that.
So that means you learned it when you were younger, but then you
yeah.
never got into the business, you were helping out only. But then you went to pursue your own career.
Correct.
Then after that, then in 2014, then you
the one
went
is
back.
My mother bo pian already.
Yeah.
She need me to. So I go into a business started
Interesting.
from there.
Yeah, I actually read
Right.
some article that you, after taking over the stall, you made these classic dishes a bit more Instagrammable,
Yeah.
and then it led to like 30% increase in sales.
Yeah, correct. Because when I took over the store, my parents they don't know how to engage in this type of marketing, social media things. So the main concern is the original batch of customer they are aging, and we are getting less and less customer. Then my store is at some sort like a blind spot in the hawker center. No people will purposely walk over there. The hawker center so big, we need to do something to attract new customer. So I started to do some revenge on this.
Okay.
I'm very curious actually personally on what hawker life is like. And since you're here, I think you can shed some light on it. So, I mean, just take us through what your daily schedule looks like. What's a day in the life of Melvin?
No life lah, basically. If I'm working, so I wake up 4 in the morning, reach my store about 5 plus 6. We dilly-dally. Once we reach the store, we cannot dilly-dally.
Yeah.
We need to immediately start preparing.
Right.
So about 10, then we can start selling. So
Wow.
Like
So
the
it's
preparation, right? Because
Yeah.
I think braised duck, he takes quite a while to
Correct,
prepare.
correct.
Okay. So that means
5
from like
hours.
5 hours is for you to prep everything that you're going to be able to
About-
serve for that day lah.
Correct. Because we have to do everything in the store ma.
So how big is your team? Like how many people?
It's a family lah. My mom, my sister.
So 10 o'clock you start selling.
Yeah, correct.
Then you're taking turn or you're just all of you there all the way?
Oh, the whole day.
Whole day.
So we'll be there until like about 6 p.m. So by the time we reach home, it will be about 8 or 9 p.m.
Right.
Then got to sleep already because got to wake up at 4
That one
a.m.
cannot. Also cannot sleep because I got a group, the Hawkers United. So
Oh.
when I reach home, I need to jaga the group lah.
Yeah.
So normally I sleep at about 11 or 12.
Right. So this group is supposed to help like support hawkers, like younger hawkers and all that.
Initially, when the group started, is to help the hawkers during COVID lah. So I started this group. We share and see how to help the hawkers. This is how it started lah.
Yeah, I think I have some numbers here that the Hawkers United Facebook page has, I think last I checked, like 320k
It's crazy.
members. So
It's a massive group.
320.
I'm quite surprised also lah. So when the group started, suddenly only one day we hit about 50k members.
Yeah.
Only one day. So there are members who post about this char kway teow in MY Street. The member actually take photo of this char kway teow uncle from the back view. Then you can see that no people. Then the uncle like very sad. All of a sudden the post just go viral.
Right.
And the next day the uncle cha until siao already.
But it happened quite a lot, right? Like I was seeing like during the, especially during the COVID period,
a lot.
Like they will take a photo of somebody asking for help or
So-
something, then everybody go and like flood the store.
Correct. There's another this very famous Laksa store I don't mention where
Secretly.
My nephew he messaged me PM me say I want to help my uncle to post a Laksa because you don't know. Say just post So post a month later I said hey Melvin cannot already I want to take down the post. I said my uncle cannot tahan already. Tapao until he tahan already. So I said okay then you just remove the post but they appreciate they appreciate.
Right.
It's incredible because like the group really put so much spotlight on like hawker stalls that normally would just be ignored, and like it could be really life-changing money like all of a sudden, which is great. I think like I also saw content creators who normally most of the time they would like maybe do like very nice like videos, like the Daniel Schiffer kind, right? They will find hawkers that were featured on the group and go and help them do free like videos. And then and post.
community.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I do that also lah. So during COVID I go around a lot of hawker center to do live lah. Then I say, hey, you don't scared lah. I come here already, scared. Then I do live another week I receive SMS. You are under the quarantine order.
Okay, so going back to Melvin's schedule, right? So what you're saying from what we heard just now is that you wake up at 4 a.m. and then you sleep at about 11 and then you just restart the whole thing over and over again.
Yeah, correct.
You
No
got-
life lah. That's why I tell you no life lah.
Every day I know
You got day off one, no?
Got lah. But then this one I got life already So I off 2 days 2 days. Monday and Friday. But that one is because my family member helping my mom is helping me So I want to cut down the days so she can have more rest
Oh, okay. So now it's like, I think the store's only open 5 days, right?
Friday also siong
So it's closed which day? Monday and Friday.
Yeah, Monday, Friday.
Okay, I better take note.
And you close at 6 because you all sell out by 6 also.
No, sometimes we sell about 2 p.m., 3 p.m. But we still need to stay back and do preparation
Or for the next day. Okay.
Because if we really do on the day itself I think 6-7 hours is not enough.
Right.
Too many stuff, too many things to get it done already.
Then you eat your own thing until sian already, right?
My food very good. But then sometimes bo pian because we need to be fast. See, when the crowd comes, sometimes we don't go and think of other food. Then we just hand down the food.
Right. And somehow you have to taste it, right? To know whether
Yeah. Especially got people complain, then we must taste. Hey, woman, female.
How got people complain?
Got lah. Surely have one foodies. Every type, any type people also have one.
So what's the weirdest complaint you ever got?
Wow, so this customer, she said, hey, your duck, why like that? I say, what happened? Don't have the ear.
Huh?
Say, huh? Oh, you go and find you. I say, hey, you go and find your duck with the ear, Mickey Mouse man. So you actually tell me this, this time where go people see duck ear before? So we got a lot of funny customer one. I tell you, you ask the duck male or female, you just eat lah. You care that it's a male or female, you just eat lah. The duck, you taste good, then okay already ma. You don't ask us those very cheap scientific things. How you know?
You know whether male or female?
Oh, no. We know.
But does it taste different?
Male one will be better lah.
Oh,
okay.
So that means if now I know I go to the duck store, I can ask for.
Better don't lah.
Male one there, this one you got here.
You don't ask. This one you ask, you will come.
Is there anything that customers do that is annoying?
Got lah, lot lah.
Oh, let's hear them.
Got lah. Sometimes like we can always see that customers say, wow, the hawker very haolian. He ignore me. The one bo pian you see, sometimes we have to chop the duck. You talk to us, you talk to her. Then one time go only. Hey, I tried a few times.
You try a few times.
A few times only. I chopped my hand quite badly injured.
Oh my god.
Quite badly injured.
With the chopper.
Cleaver.
The cleaver is very sharp one. Every day we go and sharpen it one.
Then how long you cannot work with injury?
Well, the one I think at least 1 week lah. At least because it's open up already.
It's a lot shorter than I thought it would be.
Because you look at the customer.
Yeah lah. Sometimes I also don't know why lah. Maybe they like me lah or what lah. So if my sister or my mom is taking order lah.
Or they want to talk to you.
Talk to me. Then I tell them that I cannot talk to you lah. Then they will start to like very angry. It's not we don't want to talk lah. We also know that sometimes we say the hawkers like black face.
Yeah.
It's not bad face. They're cooking the noodle. Then you want that. Don't shout lah. Correct or not? They cannot be every time cook the noodle. The char kway teow. Correct or not? They must be.
Yeah, they're working.
They need to concentrate.
They need to concentrate. You not scared? You see already. This one don't know for some. It's not with bad face. If you talk to us like hello, then we will say hey hello. We will hello back lah. It's not that with black face bo you It's not.
I love this.
Stop talking to hawkers, man. Come on.
Yeah, let them do their job.
I mean can talk lah after unpeak hours. Cause peak hour really very.
Yeah.
Then sometimes we do too much. You ask too much, then the temper will come on. Especially the elderly hawkers. You see, sometimes there's a menu over there. Need to ask, 你在卖什么啊？你自己看啊，自己看。哦，这个面啊，牛面啊，有饭啊，你的饭里面有什么啊？里面有什么？The one you ask, you stop people from behind all the people also fed up lah. The hawkers won't be rude to you one lah. Unless you do something really irritate them on like something that you know you still want to ask then. Unless you really don't know lah, like those tourists they really don't know so we need to explain to them
Yeah.
My problem is I always order in English because my Mandarin not very good. Like I tried before, I order in English, right? They charge me more than my friend who ordered in Mandarin. Walao eh.
Don't name and shame here. Okay, don't.
Do you feel like you're being judged? I also feel like being judged when I order in English sometimes. Yeah. Then my broken Chinese have to come out.
I think ordering food is where the only time I speak Chinese in my entire life.
Have you ever had any customer that go like, I really very hungry but like I cannot afford today, can give me for free or not?
Go lah. In fact, a lot of hawkers they give free food to the low income people one. Hawkers can see one like our table cleaning one, those uncle auntie. sometimes we also give them free food lah.
Yeah.
Since you are here as a hawker, maybe you can just let us find out some fun facts about hawkers. What's something that the average person won't know about hawker life? Hold up! What's your favorite hawker dish? Tell us in the comments below and we'll return to the episode.
Hawker life a lot of people think that hawker sibei hok tang drive Mercedes walk until you hate one you see there are a lot of hawkers quite near to their career the money mostly spent on medication one
Or like towards the later half of their career. Okay.
When they want to retire already, they need to see a lot of doctor. Even at my age, I got a lot of problem with my legs.
Is it because a lot of standing, a lot of walking?
A lot of standing, then
Very labor intensive.
On the body.
You imagine sometimes we have to stand for the whole day So basically it's about 10 hours, 12 hours
Did it not come to a point where like you were thinking, okay, maybe I can hire people to cook and then I just like watch or like supervise? Oversee.
Of course, we always hope we can employ people But in Singapore, to employ local and PR is very difficult All the PRs and Singaporeans all want to be tauke They don't want to be assistant
Yeah, so interesting you're saying that because like that's also the sentiment that we get today, right? Where hawkers are struggling to find people to like pass down the skills and the recipes out there too. But then you were saying earlier that your parents don't want the children to, to continue the line. It's an interesting change.
If nobody continues, then the culture just die off
Yeah.
We don't need to see the day that the char kway teow robot, all the robot cooking char kway teow sell already then you get UNESCO for what? You might as well give a UNESCO to the robot already, robot char kway teow.
But if a robot can make your recipe exactly the same, good.
Wow, I think impossible
Ah.
I tell something very funny If you find two person they having the same ingredient, the same equipment you ask them to cook char kway teow, everything same the taste will not be the same
Why?
your hands down, all that the robot, I don't think can I test so many times already.
You
I test robot one before.
So on the topic of like hawker culture in Singapore, right, and the state of it, I actually came across this Reddit thread that was kind of discussing this topic. And what the person wrote to start this whole thing is that considering the majority of our hawker vendors are elderly, in the next 20 to 30 years, many of them will be gone. In my opinion, it's not a question of if, but when our hawker culture will disappear. The thought of my favorite char kway teow or lor mee place being gone in the future and I'll never be able to taste it makes me so sad. So there were some comments with it also, and people were kind of in agreement with the direction it's headed in. So some comments say like, when you have people complaining about hawkers having the audacity of pricing their fares at almost fast food prices, the trade is doomed. Some people say Singaporeans have only ourselves to blame if we lose hawkers. Our value system on food is completely warped. So I think what people are saying is that people expect it to be at
cheap.
the price that it was about 10 years ago, and is it our fault that we unwilling to pay prices now that ingredient costs have gone up and the rental stores have gone up and all that kind of stuff?
Basically, if Singapore's hawker culture dies, it's probably our fault because we are not willing to pay more.
That is somewhat of a sentiment, one of the sentiments on the Reddit thread.
But having been in the industry for so long, and then especially because you are the ones that interact directly the customers, right? Have you personally heard like how those these sentiments from customers?
It's a never-ending topic. So in the 80s, we eat fishbone noodles about $1, $1.50. So when they rise to in the 90s, they rise it to $2 and $2.50. This thing happened also So people say, wow, ani kui, wow, so expensive. Why? So in the end, all the food they start to be at the average price of $2 and $2.50. Then people start to they got nothing to say. Bo pian already you don't eat, then you won't sell cook already. You got no choice already. So it happens until you can see that in the 90s until 20s, there's no much increase in food price
Right.
We stay at the price of about $2 to $3. So the rise recently we know that it's more
Yeah.
because of what? It's a global issue, it's inflation. We got no choice when suppliers, they supply us in the more expensive, then of course hawkers, they need to make profit also. We cannot keep on helping for the public just for the sake of the word cheap. When we talk about food price, it's a very wide range. A lot of people don't understand. Some of the stores, they got very high labor, they use very good ingredients, and some they just sell cheap and they can use cheaper ingredients, all that. So it's a range. So when we eat, we need to understand why they sell so expensive, why they sell so cheap. Must have a reason. If I can sell cheap, of course I sell cheap. Everybody will come and find me. But then there's a point that if I sell too cheap, I cannot make any profit. Then meaningless. Then the hawkers also got bill to pay one.
But besides the online, because online, obviously the people that are commenting are very extreme, right? But the majority of your customers, are they generally like not complaining about the price? Like they understand?
They understand. Most of them, if you got a group of regulars, they are your supporter. They will understand one. They don't. Because all the complaint, I tell you all the complaint is from all these type of social media. No face one, no face one.
Yeah, they can be anonymous.
We call that keyboard warriors. Keyboard warriors behind one. So this type are all a lot of this type of Chrome account. They no life lah. This type really no life lah.
Calling them out.
No life. You find something to do for the society lah. Hantam hawker.
Correct. The commenters also, we see you.
Alright, yeah. But okay, so like this whole not debate but discussion about price aside, right? How about the issue of like once the older generation who currently know the recipe or that once they pass on in the next 20-30 years and nobody takes it up, is that something that you are seeing also?
Yeah. In fact, okay, you can see, Dr. Leslie Tay I post. So few years back, he actually wrote a book about Char Kway Teow one. Char Kway Teow is going to extinct. It's real. You can count current young Char Kway Teow hawkers. Won't exceed the 10 finger. There's only the few. But recently, there's this Char Kway Teow youngster, only 23 years old. So I think, then we got hope already.
Is there any food from back in the day that now we don't have already?
Yeah.
Extinct.
Yeah.
A lot lah.
Like what? Got anything I never eat before?
Like 枝头章 all that lah. A lot of
what's that?
It's a Teochew food lah. Then there's one that the duck feet, so they put the gizzard, then they wrap it back lah. They want akio bao, they want also no more already. Even 纸包鸡, there's only one doing only ma.
That is an old thing.
Old thing. A lot. We don't see anymore. Even traditional Kway we also don't see.
Right.
Kanchami also the traditional noodle. The latest one retired already also.
It's damn cool to think about like back in the day how things were so different. Like my mom was also saying that like last time like they buy some groceries like eggs and all this kind of stuff, right? Is they got like some trolley from your window, like you stay at a higher floor.
Go lah.
Then they lower the basket, then they put the stuff inside, then you bring it back.
It's a short house stand
Wow.
Wow.
You try doing the HDB.
Old school.
Like you see last time the cashier or the Milo Kong one. And they put a bell also. You pull only want to steal, you pull.
But wow, that's crazy. Like Char Kway Teow going extinct in our lifetime. That I cannot.
Crazy.
I cannot put that together now. Even when I think about
it's a very iconic food for Singapore lah. It's created here, then it look very messy but you eat.
It's one of my favorite dishes, to be honest. Yeah.
But we have this 23-year-old to give us hope.
Yeah, so
might just be one store to go to in 10 years time.
So the 23 years old boy is at Upper Boon Keng Hawker Centre. World of Taste. So,
Nearby.
Yeah, he undergo this Hawkers Development Program also.
Okay.
So he actually got a mentor in, I think it's a Clementi Char Kway Teow. So he learned the trade and he started the store.
Right.
Okay.
Later we go try.
This is a proper recommendation.
It's hope. It's hope.
Popular one. Like he sell by lunchtime one.
I think about 2 p.m. around there.
Okay, that means we might be able to make it.
Okay, cut.
What makes a good char kway teow?
Char kway teow ingredient is very simple lah. Very simple.
The prep time not 5 hours.
It's how you fry it lah. Playing with the fire is a very 高学问 thing lah. You don't see like that. You see that boom 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 the fire one.
You got try to learn all these other dishes before?
Go.
Have
Go.
Wow.
But then how come you don't do like for example, if it's char kway teow, you open another char kway teow store?
Cause like the prep time might be shorter also. Then like say
So char kway teow you one big problem when we find staff workers they don't want to do very 凶 thing one lah. If you see very long queue one they 老板不要啦。short queue one 老板这个我 OK 啦。
right.
Oh, they all want to work at the not popular store.
Yeah.
I mean
Shop owner will be happy.
Human nature lah.
Yeah,
I say
yeah.
walao so long queue I want to try until I be down. So when people say that, hey, char kway teow $3, rise to $4, very expensive for them. I say you go and try lah. You go and try. We don't take any equipment lah. You just simulate, use your hand
Yeah.
for 3 hours For 3 hours, I see you can tahan or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really the side that people don't see.
You don't see even the char kway teow the price you pay don't justify the labor works.
Yeah.
You don't labor. You should pay more for the labor works.
Yeah.
Melvin, I think just now you mentioned something about a hawkers development program. Could you just take us through what that is?
Okay, it's actually a program which the government agency hoping to preserve the hawker culture
Okay.
and to support more young hawkerpreneurs, young hawker to want to take up the trade So it's actually a mentorship program
Okay.
So the new hawkers they will actually match up with the elderly hawkers So they will tell them about experience in operating a hawker store But the most important thing is about the experience And so we see a lot of young hawkers, new hawkers who I so-called go into the battlefield blindly just go in then kind of hamtam like siao one like if you go to the war you don't know what happened you step out only you kind of machine gun then you die So it's the same logic.
What is an example of something that new hawkers don't see or make mistakes?
Operating hours, the hardship, and the way that you need to do marketing, media marketing.
They go in thinking that I just cook the food good can already, but there's so much more to it because you're really running your own business lah.
Yeah. And we talk about hawker centers. So there are so many hawker centers. Every hawker center got their own characters. So we see hawker center, some we got office crowd, we got factory crowd. So there are places that you really need to go and do research on what type of food you can sell,
Right.
what type of food won't jalan one you sell.
So what goes through that training? How do you train someone for that? Do you just sit them down and say like, these are the things you need to be prepared for?
No, I mean the training is to let them understand about the rotation on how hawkers works. You need to adapt to the hawker's life.
So do they like go to to their mentors' stalls?
Yeah. So they will see how they work, how they operate, and the mentor will teach them. The work experience is very, very important. You need experience to at what time I do what, I prepare this, prepare that. So this thing I can prepare for the next 2 or 3 days. Something like that.
Yeah. But I think it's so selfless from the mentors because they don't have to do this. The one motivating factor is because they want to preserve the culture of being hawkers. So then, okay, let me bring you under my wing and then spend more time with you when I'm really so busy.
Like the new fella, right? He tried to make like char kway teow store. Then he will be attached to a char kway teow store. Like mentor. Oh, okay. But he's not learning the fella recipe lah.
Ooh.
That one depends on.
Yeah.
He's still the.
But this one, you also need to be talented to steal easy one. You need. Last time when my parents teach me they don't teach one we this type also cannot curse one kaki kwa lah.
So that means your recipe all is don't have like the exact like how many gram of this, how many gram of that. Is you all aga.
It's the feelings.
But I don't encourage this I mean, if there's a day when you are going to expand your business, you want to duplicate your business, aga is not the way lah. If you find your stuff to aga for you, then you sell it.
You go different days.
Okay, so I'm doing some research. I just read up a bit on this hawker development program, and So what the mentees will go through is 3 stages. One is training, second they go through some apprenticeship, and then the third is they just start business really.
Over how long? How long is the program?
How long is the program? Because here I'm reading also that Melvin, you actually worked with NEA to develop these programs.
You developed the program.
You're talking like you're not even in it like that.
Also, I'm the work group for this which is co-chaired by the MP Edward Chai and Dr. Miko lah.
Oh, okay.
So this how the incubation program come from now.
And just to clarify, right, this hawkers development program is not just for young people who want to start, right? It actually can apply to, like, say, if your uncle had went to the hawker development program, he would have been eligible. So
For all ages.
All ages are.
For ages, Akong Ama one also can, but don't want
Let me call my mama.
In terms of the sustainability of the program,
Need to stand very long, remember?
Okay, actually, I think there's also this, what I'm seeing here is that there is also another program called the incubation stall program, which kind of helps with the, I mean, you were talking about the cost of like starting equipment, all that kind of stuff. Maybe you can just take us through like what that is.
The NEA government agency, they will find a store for them at the subsidized rental lah.
Okay.
Then they will supply, I forgot how much of it the equipment they will also pay part of the equipment for them
So it's the help with the startup costs of doing it. Okay.
Just to round off that whole thing about the incubation stall program, so successful applicants will be offered stalls at 50% of the market rate for 9 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, followed by 75% of the market rate for another 6 months. Yeah,
that's not
and
bad.
also it also provides basic stall fittings lah. So like, I think Melvin was talking about the freezer and the chiller. So that's what actually, if you successfully apply for the ISP incubation stall program, that's pretty good head start lah. I think
That's
right,
not bad,
for all
that's not
those
bad.
things.
Very
that
good
we're talking
it actually help you a lot on your budget already
Yeah.
Do you personally know like these anyone who's benefited from, like, say the
quite number lah. Like in Chinatown Complex, we got this store selling Yong Tau Hu and Lei Cha one.
They started with the incubation program.
So
Wow.
there's another one. So they are actually selling Vietnam fusion type of pig organ soup.
Oh,
Sounds interesting.
Alright.
Nice.
Okay.
Another one is a char kway teow young guy lah.
young guy Chap.
330.
The upper Boon Keng, right?
So these are the few they are doing quite good lah.
All young people.
Young people.
Damn.
Okay.
What is the biggest initial cost when you want to start in this industry?
We see what type of hawker business if you talk about char kway teow,
Yeah.
it can be cheaper lah.
Or like see how complicated the dishes you are going to
Correct.
cook.
If we talk about chicken rice or roast up, will be more expensive because you need to buy the Apollo ma. Roast up, then what we call
okay,
Apollo
yeah.
that time, then fish. Then a lot
Okay,
of
so chicken
equipment.
rice store roughly how much?
I think easily more than 12 or 15K lah.
Actually, on the topic of like that, how much it costs to run a business, right? To even start a business. Like, one thing that Big John was curious about and wanted to ask you is that how many plates does it take to sell a day to break even?
More than 200 one lah. We put it at a very average lah.
Conservative.
Like, doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
200 a day?
Correct. So imagine char kway teow one. So they have to 200, 300 plate one no.
200 Okay, but on average, how many, like your duck, your kway chap, right? On average, how many plates a day?
My one about 100 plus 200 lor.
Also 100
But
plus
my
200.
one, we got people take half that
Yeah.
commission,
okay.
so my one is very difficult
Right.
to
Gauge lah. Yeah.
If you talk about fishbone noodle that type,
The
it's
standard,
about 200 lor.
okay. Wow, 200.
There's just this one TikTok that I think resurfaced. It kind of is related to what we're talking about, like in terms of like the cost of running a F&B business. So this TikTok video by this user, Yongwei92. I'm just going to play the audio for about the intro. Yeah.
For the first time ever, I'm not going to be encouraging. This time, I'm going to demotivate you. Don't go and start a business. Just stay in your job. Collect your salary, work 9 to 5. And I'm going to show you the reason why. According to Accra Business Statistics, a total of 13,539 F&B businesses were formed between 2019 to 2022. At the same time, 9,609 businesses folded, ceased, deregistered. That means that 70% of F&B businesses already failed.
And so that's just the first 30 seconds of the video. He goes on to talk about how like F&B business owners will go into debt. There are no new concepts anymore. Even successful businesses are at risk of closing down due to unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, like, since once again we have Melvin here, what do you think of this?
You see this
what he
TikTok
said?
before?
I see lah. Walao eh. We don't see everybody feel their business. There are so many successful ones.
Yeah.
If you feel a business, then something should be wrong with your concept.
But you angry or not? You see this guy?
I see already a big song. No lah, I mean everybody got their way on doing business.
Yeah.
Some can be very talented and they're doing very well. They duplicate their business, they become big tauke.
I think when I saw it, right, initially I was like, wow, really so difficult to start F&B. But then when I think about it, right, the numbers that he's throwing out, it applies to almost any industry. There are so many people who, the majority who fail when they attempt to start a business, right? And then there's that minority that will succeed. But then, like what you mentioned, it shouldn't stop you from continuing to pursue something that you're interested in.
When we are doing F&B business, especially hawkers business, you cannot imagine that, it can be so simple, so easy, all that. That's why I say that experience is very, very important.
Yeah.
Or like you need to be realistic.
I'm sure that this fellow also go into the battlefield blindly. So what he sell?
I think
cream,
he
Ice cream.
Yeah,
sells
he
ice
also
cream.
do
He's
business.
a cafe owner, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
So there are so many cafes, so many ice cream,
Yeah, lor.
and they are getting more and more. So what makes your ice cream special?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That I think when I first heard the stat, I went, okay, what? I would be very surprised if 100% of businesses that started up like all okay.
Yeah, we all be businessmen,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
all business are difficult to be true. We need experience. We need somebody to guide us. When we talk about business, it's very easy to start the business.
Yeah.
You just need to take out some money. But how to sustain the business is
That's the real business of
the
business.
real business. So that's why we got all these type of program.
Yeah.
The sustainability, how you sustain the business.
That's why they call it hawkerpreneur, right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneur.
Because you're really an entrepreneur in the hawker industry.
Still though, I feel like after everything I've heard, right,
Yeah.
hawker life's still tough. You know, like the hours alone, right? Oh, wake up at 4, sleep at 11, repeat the whole thing. A bit tough already, and the cost also a bit scary for me. So with all these kind of things, right, I just want to ask, like Melvin, like what keeps you going, like to be a hawker?
Passion is one thing. Then it's a family business also. It's something that passed down by my father so I must continue
You could
Legacy.
see the customer eating or not. Then you try to see their expression, like whether they like eat and then they like
Nice or not?
shock,
Yeah.
Go lah. But I cannot every time build You need to
But you see it, then they like, then you like, you got the feeling.
feeling high. I feel.
So it's for that lah. It's for that look on their face.
Shock, eh?
You will feel happy like nowadays. I'm more lucky I got more publicity. So I got tourists Local they don't really come. Hey, your food very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will say, hey, nice like that.
They're more reserved.
But if you talk about tourists, wow, they really come to you and say, amazing, fantastic, your food is so good. Wow, the one you hear already, the one you suddenly, you also go win one.
Singaporean too paiseh already.
Yeah.
You need to be more vocal with the things that you're like.
Most of them, they will write in their social media to express.
Yeah. Okay, so just to round off this whole conversation, right? Say if anyone out there wanted to be a hawker, what is the advice you would give them?
You only can give one advice.
Just one.
Yeah. The fella never watched this whole video. They only watched this part. What is the one advice you would give them?
Yeah.
Experience is very important. So like we having the program here by end year is very good. You should go and try out on this type of program, then you understand more. Just don't go into the battlefield blindly. Don't go into the field blindly, then you step on the TDK, then boom.
Your own doing.
Right? Short and sweet. Okay. I like it.
I love it.
Once again, thank you to our sponsors for today's episode, the National Environment Agency. And of course, thank you to our guest, Melvin Chew.
Let's go. Very insightful.
We hope that today's conversation has given you a better idea of hawker life. If you aspire to be one, do check out the links in the description below and for more information on the Hawkers Development Program and Incubation Stall Program. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye. It means Melvin can be your mentor, lah, right? If you sign up.
Possibly, yeah. You're also part of the mentor program.
Yeah. Probably.
Hey, sign up, and who knows, if you want to sell Braised up, Melvin can be your mentor.
But then sell Braised lah. You don't come and ask me mentor you, then you go and sell curry chicken.
As a master of duck, right? What's the best part of the duck?
The thighs and the drumstick there lah. The drumstick there mah.
It's like the most
More
like what?
tender meat.
Always walking then very tender one. Always walking one mah. You see the